The construction of the Pensacola Dam was the first of a long history of positive economic impact on this area. As a result, the adjacent towns of Disney and Langley boomed. Stores, restaurants, even hotels sprang up.
My name is Donna Kueck. I answer the phones every day. We have visitors that come in and help them with whatever questions they have. In the summer, between Memorial Day and Labor Day, we have tours for our facility for the dam. The tour guides are here, and so I'm the supervisor of the tour guides. Also, I work on payroll and mileage. We have, vehicles that people use to do mileage, and everything else they need me to do from back, work on supplies and that kind of stuff, order supplies. Grand Lake itself is thought of as a recreational place. For those in Oklahoma, we have people coming here from, Missouri, Arkansas, even Texas. We've had people come up. So it is a great place for recreation, and it's a business place as far as the restaurants and the marinas, that type thing. A lot of people want to keep their boats here year-round so they don't have to drive, so that helps a lot. To the state, having GRDA here, we produce electricity, and GRDA touches like 75 out of 77 counties. So it is very beneficial. It was started so that people in Oklahoma could have low-cost electricity period. They just didn't have it, at first, and so that was one of the reasons it was started. So as far as being beneficial to Oklahoma, it's, you can't measure it really, but the power of being able to be at a lower cost. And as far as the towns around, I know this town, Langley, was started just as a camp as they were working on the dam, as well as Disney. Disney was a little bit more booming town. They had a hotel, and that when the dam was open and people came, a lot. It seems like the towns are still small, they've maybe not grown as much. Grove, it seems like, is a town you may visit. It seems to be one of the bigger towns around the lake. But as far as people wanting to get away after retiring and living in a smaller town, these are the perfect places to be around because it's just a more easygoing lifestyle. But as far as Grand Lake itself being important to Oklahoma, I would say industrial-wise and recreational, that seems to be the best thing for Oklahoma. I know that there was a lady who wanted this building built for a place for people to come and get information about Grand Lake, as well as for the chamber. She is a benefactor. She wanted there to be, they did get some donations, and some of the stipulation was that there's art in the building, so that's why we have the lake map on the floor over there in the terrazzo floor. And GRDA wanted a better place for their lake patrol to, office out of. We have a little small building down by the dam that's quite old, but that's how this building came to be. Every season, it's a pretty view, but one day in particular, we had rain storms, and I'd never seen a double rainbow as clear as I did here. And you could almost see from end to end all across. It was beautiful. I had to get my cell phone out and video, and look at this. It was really, really pretty. We've had things, from snow and where it's frozen over a little bit up here, up to just rainstorms and fog, and watching the trees bloom and the trees change colors. The lake is a beautiful place. People think of it just as a summer place, but really year-round for those that have homes here, I know they get it. It's still, even if it's cold outside, it's still a pretty view. It makes coming to work easy. I grew up in Veneta, which is not too far from here, actually. Mostly, I lived in Oklahoma City first. Lived in Oklahoma all my life, and about 10 years ago, moved to Atlanta, Georgia. Lived there for 8 years. Then my kids were out of college, started having babies, have grandkids. Husband became ill, and so we moved back here to be closer to family. But it's been great. He's much better. Everything's worked out. We're so happy to be back. We loved Atlanta, but Oklahoma's home, and all our family's here. So the transition was a little difficult, just going from a huge city of Atlanta to a place where, your choices are very limited. But, Tulsa is close, Joplin's close, and The one good thing about it is the traffic is so much better. I drive like 20 minutes to get here, 16 miles or so, 20 miles, and it takes me about 20 minutes. In Atlanta, my job was 25 miles and it took about an hour and a half. So it's, that the stress level is so much better here. And the people, the South is great, no matter where you are, I think, but it's just nice to be close back to Oklahoma. I was listening to the radio this morning when I was coming in. Somebody that lived in the north and they moved here, and he said, people say thank you here and they stop to help you with stuff. And, and it's like, I'm not used to that, and so I thought, you're right, that it is just a more welcoming group of people, it seems like. They're just not as hustled and bustled, rushed. So it's just a better way of life, I think.
It was a huge project, as you might imagine. Towns, farms, roads, even cemeteries had to be relocated. And 50,000 acres of land was purchased or acquired to make way for what would become Grand Lake of the Cherokees. 200 archaeological sites had to be excavated. Finally, on December 30th, 1938, the contractor began pouring concrete.